In this video, we'll look at the two types of stereoisomerism that we see in complex ions. And the two types are cis-trans isomerism and optical isomerism. So, we'll start off by looking at cis-trans isomerism in square planar complexes. So square planar, if you remember, are four coordinate, but rather than being tetrahedral, they form these square shapes. A common example of this type of isomerism is found in this compound here, sometimes known as platin. It's got a platinum 2+ ion, 2 neutral ammonium ions, and 2 negative chloride ions. So, if you remember, the bond angles here are 90 degrees. So the chlorines can be opposite each other, or we're looking in terms of chlorine, but we could equally look in terms of the ammonias. If we stick to chlorines for now, they could be opposite each other, in which case they're 180 degrees away from each other, and that's known as transplatting. Or they could be right next to each other, in which case they're 90 degrees from each other, which is known as cisplatting. Platting just comes from a common name for this complex. It's unique to this complex. So we've got a trans version and a cis version. Now the cis version is actually used in cancer treatments. It's used to stop replication of cells. It's one of the early forms of chemotherapy. So cisplatting can be used for that because when in the body, the chlorines are substituted by bases found in DNA and form these coordinate bonds. And so cisplatting can bind to DNA and it stops replication, which is really important if you want to stop the spread of a cancer cell. Now this early form of chemotherapy had its side effects with really bad side effects. I mean, chemotherapy still does now, but this early form really was quite harsh to things like the parts of the body like the kidneys. But they have developed cisplatting and to slightly different versions of it, and you can see more of that in some of the PDFs attached to this lesson. We can also get cis-trans in octahedral complexes. So we've got a 3+ cobalt ion, 4 neutral ammonia ligands, and 2 negative chloride ions, giving us a plus charge overall. And the chlorides could be 90 degrees away from each other, like so, in which case it's known as cis, or they could be 180 degrees away from each other, in which case it's known as trans. And these two complexes actually have completely different colours. You can get cis-trans with bidentate ligands as well, as long as there's 2 monodentates. So you can see this one again, these 2 chlorides are 90 degrees away from each other, or here they're 180 degrees away from each other. Now these 2 stereoisomers, cis and trans of this particular complex, also show another, well, one of them shows another type of stereoisomerism. If you took the mirror image of this one, it's non-superimposable, and that's what we know as optical isomerism. However, the mirror image of this one is exactly the same molecule, and it is superimposable on itself. So this one does not show optical isomerism. So let's have a little closer look at this one. I've copied it here from the previous page. Imagine a mirror line in between here. It looks identical, but look, the chlorides are on different sides. If you pick this up, this chlorine here will be poking out here. If you twisted it around to here, the bidentate ligands wouldn't fit on each other correctly. So they're known as enantiomers. There's a pair of enantiomers, non-superimposable mirror images. And one thing they do differently is they rotate polarized light in opposite directions. So in a lab you can tell them apart. You can also get optical isomers with 3 bidentate ligands. Now drawing this can be tricky, so I'll give you a quick demo. This ruthenium has 3 bidentate ligands, En 3 times. So imagine there's a mirror line going down here. The trick of drawing out the mirror image is, first of all, it's really important you get that octahedral shape in there first. Okay, so that's very important. I do that first. Then I look at the mirror line. I'm going to look at the one at the top. This bit's near to the mirror, that bit's far away. So I'm going to repeat the same here. There's a mirror here. So just be really careful, you don't just draw exactly the same thing. This bit's coming towards the mirror, so there's something coming towards the mirror here. Okay, and that's going down away from the mirror, so I'm going to do the same here. Square brackets, 2 plus, and there you go. So they're the 2 cases where you see optical isomerism, 3 bidentate ligands, or, like we saw previously, 2 bidentate ligands with 2 monodentate ligands.